Hello and a very warm welcome to Dr. Zia Ahmed YouTube channel. Today in this short video I shall be discussing the interplay of translation, ideology and politics, especially at that time when translation is being done. What is the condition of the writer and how does he take care of all these forces that we shall be discussing today in this video. For this purpose, let's keep one key point in our mind that translation is a kind of relationship between ideology and politics, and it's a very intricate and complex relationship. It is multifaceted and it can serve rather, as a kind of powerful tool in shaping or reflecting ideological or political perspectives. So that is why it is not just a simple art or act of translation. It involves number of other things as well. We need to see how does these two very important factors play a role in shaping the discourses with the help of translation and politics, especially when the translation of one language, one subject is being done into another. For this purpose, we need to see what is the ideological content in that text. That is not simply a kind of linguistic exercise when we translate. Instead of that, there are many things which come in the fold, come into play. For example, there are cultural nuances, there are ideological messages, and there are the content of language as well. All these things come together. For example, when we talk of the language, at that time we have different words, phrases, and even sometimes it happens that the things combine together to make the things go as fast as possible. All these things combined together make the act of translation very much important, especially at that time when the translator goes to make a decision which text he needs to translate. His decision can be influenced by different circumstances around him, and that is why it becomes a type of propagation or perpetuation of specific ideologies and the propaganda as well. So it is not simply the play of words changing from one language to the other. Instead of that, it is a complex interplay of these forces to shape, reshape, or to reconstruct the ideologies along with the passage of translation. And I say so because political implications of translation are also there. Because translators are not most of the time neutral actors. Their decision, first of all, as I said already, can be influenced by their individual or collective ideological learnings or certain political pressures. Because of this, their translations cannot be 100% literal. It involves number of things into it, because of which it becomes idiomatic and conveys those specific political situations or the things which are related to politics or ideology that comes forward. For example, when we are going to translate political speeches or the documents, these can be tailored, these can be made or converted into in such a situation that the ideological agenda or certain particular system or certain particular message of particular regime may be conveyed. So this thing definitely happens when the translation takes place. The same is the case with the cultural hegemony. There are different cultures in the world, some are dominant, some are not. Because of the dominance of the culture, when a translator begins to translate, the dominance of the culture plays its role. If he is from the colonizing culture or dominating culture, hegemonic culture, definitely his tilt will be towards that culture to which he belongs. And if he belongs to that culture which is hegemonic, definitely he will be promoting certain worldviews of the people. And when worldviews are promoted, the things happen that the marginalized others are created and they are silenced as well. So that is why cultural hegemony also plays a very important role in case of translations. This can happen other way around as well, because if you as a translator belong to the culturally hegemonic state or country or ideology, the other translator possibly can belong to some non-hegemonic state as well. And in that case, he would like to offer resistance and some type of subversion of established ideologies through his translation. So in that way, translation can work both ways, promoting hegemonic culture as well as promoting those voices which have been kept silent. And the ideologies spread by hegemonic voices, these can be subverted, these can be resisted by the translator as well. So in this way, it becomes 100% political issue. The translation is not simple. It is all the time involving all these type of strategies. Political role of the translation definitely involves language and power also. The act of translation, therefore, is embedded within the power dynamics. We cannot go away from the powers. Dominant languages often wield, as we know, more influences, and when we especially talk of the global discourses at that time, dominant language plays its role and reinforces the power or the challenge it by or challenges it by amplifying voices that are typically silenced. It goes both ways, not just one way. So that is why, again, language and power play a very dominant or a kind of role where a powerful language will dominate itself and the translation will be better in that language as compared to the less dominating language. Then comes the ideological biases in translation. Translation is most of the time subjective. And if we are carrying baggage of certain ideology, definitely our translation is likely to become biased. And therefore, our own personal influences would be there to raise certain concepts and to omit some of the concepts there. The use of loaded language, for example, or the alteration of historical political context, for example, we, the translators, may be doing this thing to align with specific ideological viewpoint. So, translators' subjective bias is likely to come there, and the translation may not be that genuine because it would be suffering from that bias also. Then comes propaganda and censorship. If we want to propagate something special, even then the translation would work. And if we see that censor would be there to mute our translated subject, then again we shall be taking care of that. In both cases, some of the things would be highlighted and some of the things may not be highlighted, rather they become disappeared. And misinterpretation therefore can come possibly there. So that is why all these things combine together create an environment where translation becomes a tricky art, a propaganda machine also, ideological propagation as well, domination of the nations also, and the superiority of languages all play a role in converting from one language to the other, and they are somehow present in them as well. And so we can conclude that understanding the interplay between translation, ideology, and politics underscores, emphasizes the broader significance of translation as a socio-political act with far-reaching implications beyond linguistic boundaries. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon in some next video. If you like it, do not fail to hit the subscribe button as well as the like button.